is extremely close. And Iran, by the way, is also outpacing Iraq in the development of ballistic missile systems that they hope will reach the eastern seaboard of the United States within 15 years. By next spring, at most, by next summer, at current enrichment rates, they will have finished the medium enrichment and move on to the final stage. From there, it's only a few months, possibly a few weeks, before they get enough enriched uranium for the first bomb. The foremost sponsor of global terrorism could be weeks away from having enough enriched uranium for an entire arsenal of nuclear weapons. That would place a militant Islamic terror regime weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months, less than a year.
None of that is true, is it?
No, but we have to admit that he's had enormous success.
Yes.
Keep in mind that he was able to drag us into Iraq on a false pretext. And in front of Newt Gingrich and Donald Rumsfeld, Paul Wolfowitz made the statement straight up, we just want to get the U.S. Army into Iraq. That's what we want. We don't care about anything else. Our goal is to get the Army into Iraq. They got the Army into Iraq. And of course, the whole thing was a catastrophe. We're going to see something far, far worse once we go to war with Iran, which effectively we're already in hostilities with Iran, but this will be a direct attack. And it's going to have terrible consequences because it's not going to work out as planned.
Colonel, how badly did Israel damage Iran's defenses? It appears that the euphoria from Israel and from the mainstream media, which was pervasive last Friday, has now dissipated considerably.
Well, the initial assault seemed to be effective, and we lose sight of certain realities. Let's assume that you managed to kill the top 5 or 7 or 10 people. They are simply going to be replaced. And in many cases, they could end up being infinitely more capable and more courageous and innovative than the people they're replacing. Stalin killed 34 to 35,000 officers in the Soviet army just before the Germans invaded. And ultimately, it turned out to work to Soviet advantage because the general officers that then emerged were infinitely better than most of the people that Stalin had shot. This is a false notion. Then this is bound up with the regime change myth that somehow or another millions of Iranians are going to turn on their own government and beg Israel and the United States to come invade their country and govern them. It's all sheer lunacy.